Hello, fellow Christmas lovers and enthusiasts. You are listening to Closer to Christmas. This podcast feed has been taken over by CTC Radio, 1225 AM. Commence broadcast.
You are listening to CTC Radio, 1225 AM. All Christmas, all the time.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to 1225 AM CTC Radio, Closer to Christmas Radio. We have a great show for you today. Coming up on the show, a very special guest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
CTC Radio.
I would like to welcome you to CTC Radio, 1225 AM, the station that keeps the Christmas spirit alive all year long. I'm your host, Holly Jolly, and today we've got a very special treat for all of our listeners. That's right, folks. Santa Claus himself is here to chat with us today.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Welcome to CTC Radio, Santa. We're so excited to have you here today.
It's always a pleasure to spread some Christmas cheer, especially on your wonderful radio station.
So, Santa, what have you been up to this year?
Oh, you know, the usual. Checking my naughty and nice list, feeding my reindeer, and getting ready for the big day.
I bet you're excited for Christmas Eve.
You know it, Holly. It's my favorite night of the year. I get to spread joy and happiness to children all over the world.
Oh, that's great to hear, Santa. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with this interview with Santa Claus from the North Pole on 1225 AM CTC Radio.
You are listening to CTC Radio, 1225 AM. All Christmas, all the time.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a podcaster, a lifelong Christmas nerd, and a professional Santa. And I have a Christmas podcast called North Pole Radio. Each week I sit down with a fellow Christmas performer, a fellow Christmas podcaster, or just a fellow Christmas nerd and talk about all things Christmas. There's a heavy focus on the art of portraying Santa, but we also cover Christmas movies, Christmas songs, Christmas food, and, well, basically anything Christmas. So check out North Pole Radio wherever you download podcasts.
Welcome back to CTC Radio 1225 AM. My name is Holly Jolly. We're here with Santa Claus. So Santa, while you're here on the show, I was just wondering if you have any jokes you'd like to tell the people out there listening today.
Well, of course I do. Why did the elf put his bed in the fireplace?
Well, geez, Santa, I don't know. Why?
Because he wanted to sleep like a log. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, that's a good one, Santa.
Oh, thanks. It's all part of spreading Christmas cheer, Holly. I'm glad I can make you and your listeners smile today.
Well, Santa, we're almost out of time here on CTC Radio 1225 AM. But before you go, do you have any special messages for our listeners?
Just remember, folks, that Christmas isn't all about the presents or the decorations. It's about spending time with the people you love and spreading joy and kindness to those around you. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Well, that was a really special treat, everyone. That was Santa Claus spreading some holiday cheer here on CTC Radio. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back after these quick commercial messages.
You are listening to CTC Radio, 1225 AM. All Christmas, all the time. Transmission ending, now returning you to your regularly scheduled program already in progress.
Thank everybody for listening to this episode of Closer to Christmas. I must say this has been my favorite episode I've ever done by far. I don't think I will ever top how great this episode was. And thank you for tuning in. I will talk to you next time here on Closer to Christmas. So remember, the next time you hear my voice and this podcast, we will all be a little bit closer to Christmas. Thanks for listening. I would like to thank Kevin Ague for the use of his music for the intro and outro to this episode. Links to his music can be found on the show notes for this episode. If you could take a minute of your time and rate and review this podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to this show, it would be greatly appreciated. You could email the show at closertochristmaspodcast@gmail.com, and you could visit us online at closertochristmas.com. If you would like to have your voice heard on the show, or if you'd just like to send in a question or a comment, head over to closertochristmas.com and click on the message button. And finally, if you would like to follow our social media so you could see any pictures I might have discussed on the show, you could check us out on Twitter and Instagram, both at Closer to Xmas.
Closer to Christmas is a proud member of the Christmas Podcast Network. The Christmas Podcast Network is home to hundreds of great Christmas podcasts from all around the world.
Okay, Elfie, I'll take it from here. Make sure you visit the Christmas Podcast Network at christmaspodcast.com.